Imagine planting your dream garden. The soil is well tilled, the weeds are pulled, everything is thriving. And then a tiny yellow beetle shows up and starts destroying everything. Our number one garden enemy right now, and maybe yours too, is the cucumber beetle. It doesn't just attack cucumbers, it loves squash, melons, pumpkins, pretty much anything in the cucurbit family. The leaf damage is frustrating, but that's not the worst part. The real danger is something the beetle carries: bacterial wilt. The disease lives inside the beetle's gut. When the beetle feeds, it can inject that bacteria into the plant, and once inside, that bacteria spreads through the plant's vascular system, blocking the flow of water until the entire plant suddenly wilts and dies. Unfortunately, there's no cure. Once a plant develops this wilt, it's done. If you've never dealt with cucumber beetles before, chances are you eventually will. So today we're sharing everything we've learned, the mistakes we made, the advice that didn't help, and the methods that actually work, including one weird long-term solution involving crab shells. It sounds crazy, but stick around. There are two cucumber beetles you'll commonly see. The striped cucumber beetle has 3 black stripes running down its yellow body. The spotted cucumber has black spots instead. Fortunately, you don't need to obsess over identifying them. Both feed on cucurbits and both can spread wilt. So the strategy is essentially the same. Here's how the life cycle works. Beetles spend the winter hiding in garden debris and weeds. Once the soil temps reach about 55 to 60 degrees Fahrenheit, they emerge hungry and looking for young cucurbit plants. If you're the first gardener in your neighborhood to plant cucumbers, you're basically the first restaurant open for the season. These beetles are incredibly good at finding plants. They're attracted to compounds called cucurbit volatates, or cucumberticin. This is the scent released by young, stressed, or damaged cucumber and squash plants. Even something as simple as weeding around those plants can release these odors. And that brings up some of the advice you'll hear or see online. One recommendation you might have seen is using yellow sticky traps. The problem? Those bright yellow traps attract cucumber beetles from surprisingly long distances. You might catch some, but you will also end up inviting even more into your garden. And the research backs this up. Planting trap crops, like the Hubbard squash, works on the same principle. But we actually like these, and we planted a lot of them this year, and we want them to thrive too. I recommend skipping the trap strategy altogether, since it just makes your problem even worse. Now let's talk about what we did try, but did not work. First, we tried a mild, all-purpose organic insecticide that we already had on hand, and it barely slowed them down. And this is probably because it isn't targeted to that specific pest. Then we tried neem oil. Neem isn't a quick contact insecticide. It works more as a feeding deterrent and insect growth regulator. The beetles simply stopped feeding for a while, flew away, and came back once it wore off to finish their meal. So here's what actually works. Number 1, if you can, install floating row coverers before the beetles arrive. They're one of the most effective defenses available because they physically prevent beetles from reaching the plants. Unfortunately, by the time we realized we had a problem, we already missed the window. So we brought out the big guns with a combination of spinosad and kaolin clay. Spinosad is a naturally derived insecticide that attacks the beetle's nervous system. It kills them both through contact and when the beetles feed on it, usually in an hour or two, and it works. Here's the thing though, make sure you spray it in the evening after the pollinators stop flying around. so that it has time to dry before the morning, because it's not good for them at all. Kaolin clay works completely different and is the second part of this 1-2 punch. It coats the leaves with a thin film that makes the plants harder for insects to recognize. If the beetles do find your plants and land on them, the microscopic clay particles stick to their feet, antennae, eyes, everything. So instead of feeding, they spend all of their time trying to clean themselves before eventually giving up and leaving. We mix both products in a sprayer and reapply every few days, especially after it rains or after you water. Another tip that makes a big difference: don't baby dying plants. Wilted, stunted, or heavily damaged cucumber plants become beetle magnets. If a plant isn't going to recover, pull it out and replace it. The good news is that the cucumber beetle population drops later in the summer. So replanting new cucumbers can give you an excellent second chance at a harvest. Now let's talk about breaking the beetle's life cycle entirely. If you really want to reduce cucumber beetles year after year, you have to attack them before they become adults. That's where beneficial nematodes come in. These microscopic roundworms hunt insect larvae living in the soil. Adult cucumber beetles lay eggs around the base of the plants. The larvae hatch underground and feed on the roots. What the beneficial nematodes do is they actively seek out that larva, enter their bodies, release bacteria, and kill them within a couple of days. Then they reproduce, moving on to the next host. Apply them in the spring when the soil temp reaches about 55 degrees, and then just let them do the hunting for you. If you're watching this in the middle of the summer, it's probably too late to do this year, but it's definitely worth remembering next season. The next strategy isn't exciting, but it's incredibly important. It's simple garden cleanup. Every dead cucumber vine, every fallen leaf, and every forgotten fruit can become shelter for overwintering beetles. As soon as your cucumber plants finish producing, pull them out. If beetles were a major problem, throw the vines away or just burn them. Do not compost them. And don't leave any other debris sitting around on your soil all winter. A cleaner garden in November usually means fewer beetles in June. And now for the weird one: crab shell meal or lobster shell meal. Products like Neptune's Harvest crab and lobster shell are rich in something called chitin. It's the material that makes up the insect's exoskeleton, because it's the same as lobsters and crabs. When you add chitin to the soil, you encourage populations of naturally occurring chitin-eaten microbes. As these microbes multiply, they feed on certain insect larvae by producing chitin-degrading enzymes. This isn't an overnight solution. It's a long-term investment in healthier soil biology. Ideally, you do this in the fall, giving it plenty of time to break down before spring planting. Now combine this with beneficial nematodes and good garden cleanup, and you're attacking cucumber beetles at multiple stages of their life cycle instead of simply reacting to when they arrive. Cucumber beetles aren't a spray and forget pest. Success comes from combining several strategies: good timing, physical barriers if you can, targeted treatments, healthy soil biology, and thorough garden cleanup. Now, none of these methods is perfect by themselves, but together they can dramatically reduce beetle pressure and give your cucumbers a much better chance of staying healthy all season. We've tried the shortcuts. Hopefully our mistakes save you a lot of time and a few cucumbers. If you've battled cucumber beetles before, let us know what worked for you down in the comments. We read every one, and your suggestions often inspire future videos. And hit subscribe. We'll keep documenting the results, the successes, the failures, and everything we learned along the way.